Hey, Elevation, Melissa here. I'm just excited to introduce you to my friend Christie. Christie Penner Worden is the National Director for RaiseUP Faith, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit. But Christie's going to be joining us this coming Sunday to preach, and so we wanted to take a minute to introduce her, and so she can share a little bit with us around where she's coming from and what she's going to be bringing on Sunday. So Christie, can you tell us a little bit about where you are and maybe a little bit about your family?
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Christie Penner Worden. I was raised in the Waterloo area and have some Mennonite roots. So I was super delighted when our family actually found a house in St. Jacobs a few years ago. So I live in St. Jacobs with my husband and 3 kids and our dog, Suki. If you're a fan of Gilmore Girls, that's where she got her name, because
Nice.
living in St. Jacobs is a lot like Stars Hollow. So yeah, we've been in St. Jacobs for a few years, but have been living in Waterloo. I left for a while and came back when we started our family. So I've been in Waterloo quite a long time.
Awesome. And so Elevation, most of you will know that we have been using OneStory Curriculum for our kids and youth for many years. And if you teach in Kids Quest, then you're very familiar with this curriculum. And if you don't, then maybe that's a new term for you. But OneStory is the name of the curriculum we've been using. And so in the last little while, the OneStory Curriculum has actually transferred over to a RaiseUP Faith platform. And this is a platform that's based in the UK, but has recently expanded into North America. And Christie has taken on the role of the North American director for RaiseUP
That's right.
Faith.
Yeah.
And so, Christie, tell us a little bit about your journey to this space and what you'll be bringing us on Sunday.
Yeah. So my ministry life as a pastor has always been in kids ministry. It probably came from like a mama bear heart, where I was so hungry for help and support in discipling my own kids that it actually just ignited a passion within me for kids ministry and for getting kids what they need in order to understand who they are and how to walk in relationship with Jesus. So I was a kids pastor for a number of years. And in that process of OneStory leaving its home at Jesus Collective, I was actually the curriculum pastor over OneStory when I was working as the cross-regional kids and curriculum pastor at the Meeting House. And as OneStory began to move or transition to RaiseUP Faith, the directors at RaiseUP Faith said, not so fast. We'd like a few of your people, because they so valued and cherished this beautiful resource that they wanted to make sure that it was not just handled well and onboarded to the platform well, but also really honored and became a central piece to how we disciple kids. So by that, I mean being Jesus-centered, putting Jesus at the center of how we talk about all of Scripture. So it's called OneStory because we see the whole of Scripture as one story. And people will often hear me when I'm speaking or teaching that Scripture is a love letter, not a textbook.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we look at it as one big love letter rather than a playbook or, a rule book or any of those things, we begin to see the teasing out of the narrative that transcends time and transcends all of what God had for his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a season of lots of transition, I had transitioned out of one church and then over to the Meeting House. And then this opportunity with RaiseUP Faith came in. I found myself steeped in the book of Hebrews. I find Hebrews to be super intimate, and it's really a don't give up book, a letter that's written to Jewish believers in Jesus who were holding on to hope. And I am a word nerd, so I went down this rabbit hole of really figuring out what the author meant by the metaphors that are woven into the story, but also the metaphor of seeing hope in its Hebrew word and how it plays out in the author's depiction of who Jesus is to us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wild time to be in ministry across North America. There's lots of reasons to be asking big questions, even for the sake of our kids, what they're navigating in the world, questioning identity, finding their place in community, looking for a sense of belonging. There are so many tensions that kids are navigating. And as a result, their grown-ups are also navigating. And so I think we can find a way to sit in that tension and hold on to hope and learn to go together in community. That is God's hope for the church. That is his hope for his kids as a family. And so that is what I hope to bring and how I see the church. Even after everything, all of my story, I still think the church is God's most beautiful plan for his kids.
It's beautiful. Thank you, Christie. We're really looking forward to having you. This feels like such a timely message for our community too. So see you on Sunday.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to being with you.